So we have done about the explanation about the type of menu of banquet. So next we go through about the type of menu buffet. For introduction, type of menu buffet, as we know, buffet is a more casual event. So buffet is a system of serving meals in which food is placed in a public area that the dinners guests can serve themselves. Advantage of a type of menu buffet is a show of artistic skill. Next is a labor saving, and lastly is a lower food cost. So next is a banquet organizational structure. This banquet organization structure is serve all meals at the one time. Principle of writing menu is to understand organizational structure. First step is booking the event. Handled by sale department, hotel, chef, sale department, food and beverage director have input regarding the menu. So take into the group the time, dollar they wish to spend, number to attend, group, food group, and type of skill.
Visual appeal. Believe it or not, we eat more ways than one. Before we eat with our mouth, we eat with our eyes. Visual appeal is just as important as the tasting experience of the food. Before you even take the first bite, you have already judged the meal in front of you. Am I right? Okay, in visual appeal, we have three factors. First, we have fresh foods. Second, we have attractive garnishing. And the third one, we have creative supporting display materials. Three of the factors are very important to make food become attractive to customer. First, we start with the fresh foods. As everyone know, texture is a very important element of a good presentation. To make our food look fresh, do not place too much product in a plate. Other than that, we should control our temperature to make a nice texture. The second one is the attractive garnishings. To make our food become attractive to our customer, we can add colorful garnish such as fresh herbs, spice, citrus. It can make a great colorful garnishes, but must be safe to consume, yeah? The more color on your plate, the better one. Okay, the last part on this visual appeal is creative supporting display material. To make our customer enjoy and like our food, we should be creative and innovative, right? So here we have label all food, snacks and beverages. The second one, arrange the food table strategically. The third one, provide utensil directly in a food display. Next, we should matching our linens and napkins on the tableware. Do not mix the color, okay? And the last one, put drinks on a separate table from the food. This is because we doesn't want unexpected accident will happen. Am I right, guys?
Garnishments. The principle of garnishing a plate to enhance its presentations. Most garnishes are edible. They usually consist of fruits and vegetables, but sometimes flowers or their petals. The vegetable can be cut into the shapes and presented on the side of plates, while fresh herbs leaves are very popular for their flavor and contrasting the green color. As for flowers, flower petals can be used for visual appeal. Other than that, slices and segments of fruit make nice contrast to meals. Garnishes are prepared as part of normal mise en place. Some common garnishes include herbs can be chopped to sprinkle over the top of finished salad for flavor and eye appeal. Herb spring can be used to decorate top of salads. Thin slice of vegetables julienne of carrots, slivers of spring onion, and nuts roasted and chopped to add the flavor. Deep fried shaving of vegetables.
Okay, the supporting display materials. The supporting materials is slightly different from the decorations as it includes All still non-edible display pieces use it to exchange the buffet. For examples of the display materials are ice sculptures. Besides being used as a displays, ice sculptures can also serve as a dishes such as using balls carved from ice to serve shrimps, fresh fruits, or fresh vegetables. The other non-edibles display devices include the flowers and leaves that can be used to add color to the table. Buffet items must be clearly labeled with placards. The final aspect of the supporting materials is the height, such as using a wooden box or bulk milk cart covered with linen. The table can use additional height dimensions. The linens used to close the box should be the same as the linen used on the table. White is the traditional color because it's a clean appearance and add food. However, other colors can be used to tie with room decorations. Make sure the color you choose does not diminish the food service.
Next is a line movement and zoning. Line movement and zoning is a portion control or speed is critical to success because it says speed movement. We have a zone, we have zoning, we have spread the main course, dessert, and beverage because the system to avoid the guests have waiting for the long time period of the time.
Okay, when we talk about table shape and placement, first we should have a position strategically. Place your item that you have a smaller quantity of at the end of the table near the utensil. Guests tend to fill their plates with the earlier dishes, so with your strategic placement, your food will last longer. Okay, the second one, use strategic layouts. The way you place your tables in the room is really important. In addition to good design, you will need to incorporate practical elements that control overcrowding, serve access, and ease of use for people with disabilities. You might even want to consider choosing station style over a buffet serving system. To make our buffet follow the flow, we should have a direct flow of the traffic. A successful traffic flow is created by using one of a three techniques. First, full circle, second, lining up, and the third one is a dual side serving. The other one, provide space. It's to lay the serving utensil by serve where there are means to accompany, along with a list of covered serving bowls.
In writing menu, there are several factors that need to consider to decide the food items to place on buffet table. In table service menu, the selling price is determined by a cost, for which the portion as well the item is predetermined. If all goes well, the exact cost and the exact profit is for each listing. But buffet, the portion and selection of foods are left up to customer. That is, food cost and subsequent profit must be considered in total rather than for each specific item. Items can be selected in a cost range to adhere to that price. For example, look at the chicken. A buffet with low range price could have chicken and dumplings, whereas the moderate range price calls for indicate baked or fried chicken. A high price buffet may have chicken duck sauce or chicken kiev. In high price range, it is not necessarily because of food cost, but because a labor cost due to their skills. Plate size can also be used to control costs. Most of the customer will fill the empty space of plate when they get hungry when going through the selection process. The large plate be filled to a point where customer cannot consume it all, thus waste occurs. With a smaller plate, customer will consume the first plate and return for a second or third. Digestion takes place. The customer fills up, therefore select less on the return trip. As the conclusion, Costs can be controlled through the careful planning and arranging to profit from the sale of the buffet.
Next is the demographics. When writing buffet menus, one of the key considerations is the demographics of the customers involved: age, income, education, sex, and ethnic origins. Must all be taken into account when deciding not only what items to put in the buffet, but also how much each item. For example, teenagers eat more than adults adult, right? And quantity is the considerations. They also eat a different foods. Therefore, menu selections must be carefully considered. Example for income, level of educations and occupations of guests are important, as those with higher income and higher educations tend to take a risk and eat more fashionables and usually food from their peers.
For the writing menu theme, take into consideration is theme of a group and restaurant, menu, item, and supporting display material. If restaurant in general in theme, buffet open to wide assortment of menu choices. So can feature a theme.
How you can eat buffet is just like to merchandise to profit by arrangements of item on the table, such as put with a charms, magnetism, excitement, flavors and foods. It is to stimulate customer appetites. Okay, the dishes also can be elaborate, garnished and displayed on the buffet table. Okay, please remember, the group buffet items can be categorized by salads, meats, seafood, and also a dessert. Actually, all you can eat buffet restaurant recently using by American cuisine, but Chinese and Italian also use this method.
Next, let's move to hors d'oeuvre buffets. Hors d'oeuvre buffets is small 1 or 2 bites item that served before dinner, usually accompanied by cocktails. Most of the foods are finger foods, which they can eat them while standing and mingling. It is not required the utensils. Scatter buffet tables encourage people to move about the socialize. Look at the picture for the example of hors d'oeuvres buffets. There is another style which is heavy hors d'oeuvres buffets. The utensils is required. Hot stations such as pasta or stir fry are added. However, the portions are plated in small portion by an attendant.
Formal buffet is in the formal buffet presentations, arranging food at cost is eliminated. In the formal buffet, items are ordered at their own expenses rather than cost, and the buffet always includes selections of appetizers, salad, cold dishes, hot meals, and desserts. The other formal buffet criteria is that they are more precise and artistic. The formal buffet has more classic item and dishes that the usual buffet, as well as some sophisticated item. Higher art forms are also unavailable in a formal buffet, included objects such as a low engraving, salt status, and painted and blown sugar pieces. Conclusions: buffet are accepting alternative to regular menu service. Color contrast, different hack, ice carvings, flowers, and unusual tables arrangements all help make a buffet and successful event. Proper food selections for the clients with the variety of tastes, textures, and color make it gastronomia appealing style. The foods, colors, and decorations stuck together to match the terms of the event. All these criteria create a buffet that is an existing and successfully party. It's just that simple.
Differences between buffet and banquet. Buffet is more casual than a banquet. Banquet is more formal event. So next difference is not held to honor people for the buffet. So for the banquet, held in honor of something or someone. Next different about between buffet and banquet is speech. In the banquet, speech are not allowed, are not made. For the banquet, speech are made. For example, while we eat, we hear someone speech. So next is promote self-serving for the buffet, because the guest or customer will treat themselves, and the banquet is do not promote self-serving. So the next different about between the buffet and banquet is does not contain several courses. So the banquet contain several courses. That's all.